Escalante City. Officially, City of Escalante is a fourth-class city located on the northeastern tip of Negros Occidental. It is bounded on the north and west by the city of Sagay, on the south by the town of Toboso, and on the east by Tanyon Strait, facing the island of Cebu. Escalante City is 95 kilometers away from the provincial capital, Bacolod City. The city of Escalante is composed of 21 barangays with a population of more than 94,000. According to the 2015 census, 50% belong to the youth sector or people aged 15 to 30 years old. Barangay Balintawak is a major commercial district where the hustle and bustle can be felt around shopping centers, dry goods stores, hotels, restaurants, public market, schools, as well as public and private offices. When one passes through the city's main thoroughfare called East Avenue, two imposing structures invite attention. The Epstempco, Visayas business office and hostel. The three-story building easily stands out because of its modern design accented by gleaming green glass panels. Across the co-op office and hostel is the two-story E-Mart in dazzling white, also owned by Epstempco Visayas. Cooperativism in Escalante dates back to the 1960s with the arrival of Dutch missionaries belonging to the Order of Carmelites. They built a church, a school, and introduced the concept of cooperatives to the people. Encouraged by the teachings of their spiritual fathers, the people formed a credit union. However, because they were not properly trained, the credit union eventually collapsed. Elsewhere, public school teachers and lay volunteers in the St. Francis Parish Church in Old Escalante also formed a credit cooperative, but their efforts failed.
Sad to say, it declined and it died. It died. Even I was in Old Escalante, and an old woman there, she was an active member of the credit union. She had put in her money, and then she wanted to, she became sick and she wanted to withdraw. There was no more money. So that was very sad.
It was a terrible blow for many poor people who were then already suffering from social injustice bred by the hacienda system and aggravated by the military abuses of the martial law regime of former strongman Ferdinand Marcos. In September 20, 1985, some 5,000 farmers, fishermen, urban poor, students, professionals, and hacienda workers from Escalante and the neighboring towns of Sagay, Toboso, and Calatrava assembled at the Escalante Town Plaza and Public Market to air their grievances through the so-called Huelga ng Bayan, protest of the nation. The government responded through the military, who dispersed the peaceful protest using water cannons and guns, resulting in the deaths of 23 people. The Escalante massacre shook the international community and put pressure on the Marcos regime to lift martial law. This dramatic event in modern Philippine history is marked by a massive clenched fist sculpture in front of the Escalante City Hall. The monument, called Escam, recalls the grit and determination of a people wanting to be freed from tyrannical rule. In 1991, or 5 years after the restoration of democracy, public school teachers in Escalante were still under the control of usurious lenders. Every payday, the loan sharks collected the teachers' pay, forcing them to borrow from unearned salaries at steep interest rates. The vicious cycle sunk the poor teachers deeper into poverty and hopelessness. This was the social backdrop when a group of teachers led by Mr. Jose Sabilio and Edwin Hiroso, with permission from the Escalante District School Supervisor, Mrs. Cecilia Aliones, urged fellow teachers to give the cooperative system another try. 64 teachers took up the challenge. In compliance with the state regulations, they attended training seminars and organizational meetings. Finally, in February 24, 1992, the Escalante Public School Teachers and Employees, or Epstempco, was registered as a closed cooperative with paid-up capital of 6,400 pesos. The co-op didn't have a permanent office, but it was a minor trouble because whoever was elected chairman needed only to make his or her classroom in the Escalante Central Elementary School a temporary office. The bigger problem for the credit cooperative was the lack of capital.
It took us around 5 years because out of the 64 members, it is slowly moving up our cooperatives until we put up mga 40,000 pesos out of the 6,400, and we started lending in 1995. And after 2 years of the loan granted, 75% of the loan granted, there was no repayment.
The turning point for Epstempco came in 1998 when Congressman Julio Ledesma granted the co-op through the Land Bank of the Philippines a soft loan of 500,000 pesos.
So I volunteered as manager in 1997 when we contacted Jules Ledesma of his CDF during that time. And he promised us to give the amount we asked, 2 million, but when it was granted us through Land Bank, it was already 500,000. And because of that, we accelerated the growth of Epstempco.
With additional capital, Epstempco was able to pay off the debts of the teachers from usurious lending companies. Much later, Land Bank extended a 5 million peso credit facility, which the co-op used to finance and develop the livelihood and income-generating projects of its members. Affiliate agreements with federations like VICTO, National Cooperative Federation, and local government units enabled officers, management, and staff to get mandated co-op education as well as exposures to new co-op trends, technology, and systems upgrade, resulting in the rationalization and computerization of its back-office support system. Meanwhile, the once sleepy town that bore the psychological wounds of martial law was declared a component city of Negros Occidental in 2001. After gaining city status, Escalante generated brisk economic activities, while Epstempco cast a strong presence among teachers, private and public sector employees, including small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. In 2004, Epstempco amended its bylaws to open membership to all public and private employees, including small entrepreneurs in the cities of Escalante and Sagay, including the municipality of Toboso, Negros Occidental. Its amended name is Escalante Public and Private School Teachers and Employees Multi-Purpose Cooperative, Epstempco. In 2007, or 15 years after it was established, Epstempco inaugurated its permanent office. The three-story building has become a landmark, and is a favorite home away from home of visitors. An elevator provides access to elderly members as well as to guests staying in the hostel. The Co-op Hostel is recognized for its cleanliness, well-appointed rooms, and customer care. Co-op members used to buy groceries in the same building, but because of increasing membership, Epstempco bought another property to make way for a modern and well-stocked supermarket called E-Mart. E-Mart also sells farm produce like rice, organic chicken, and meat products raised by its members. It has also become a favorite venue of family celebrations like weddings and birthdays. The imposing structures boosted the presence of Epstempco in northern Negros as word of mouth prompted other people to visit and learn more about the community-based cooperative. Epstempco today is one of the country's robust and fastest-growing community-based cooperatives. Membership as of December 2018 is more than 5,000, and assets have increased to a whopping 290.10 million pesos. Paid-up share capital in the current year is 98.20 million pesos. During its 27th Annual General Assembly, the co-op declared 7.15 million pesos in net surplus. Cooperatives, big or small, always grapple with delinquency problems, but Epstempco Visayas is one of the very few cooperatives that have kept its delinquency issues to the minimum, at 3.3% according to its 2018 annual report. Epstempco's remarkable track record is demonstrated by the numerous awards from state financing institutions, local, regional, and national government agencies, and non-government institutions. In April 2012, it gained ISO certification, an international standard that specifies requirements for a quality management system. In July 2012, owing to increasing membership and demands by people from other Visayas to join the co-op, the board of directors saw it fit to expand its coverage and subsequently adopt a resolution changing the registered name into Epstempco Visayas. Still, nothing is more fulfilling for co-op officers like Emma Resuena, Vice Chairman of the Committee on Education, than to hear members say they owe it all to Epstempco.
Ang diri gud sa amo sa Epstempco, atong ni-intra pa mi sa Gawad Pitak, may mga validators diri ang ning-anhi. Yang usa ka di gyud nako malimtan nga kuan po sa atong kasing-kasing nga niingon si ang mayor nga unsa na lang ang eskalante kung wala ang Epstempco. Kaya ang dili na mo mahatag sa Epstempco, which is very true. Kaya nga naman, daghan ng professionals tungod sa Epstempco.
Dako di kayo po. Salamat ako sa Epstempco, ma'am.
What tinabangan man yung what if no wala ang Epstempco? How are we going to roll?
Epstempco, dako di kayo matabang sa amo ang
So dako kay mong gikatabang sa kuwang business.
Thank you, Epstempco Visayas, sa dako kayong tabang.
So you just have to go there because we have like loan windows and sometimes we have savings, we have time deposit, all of those things intrahan na namo for the farm. Like for example, for the feeds, utangon mo na namo 1 month kapin. So yung kung nga sige, amatan tanig bayad, din dito na tamang utang sa Epstempco, din i-pay na to cash because maluya migukod og sa imong bangko usahay malimot ka inana, you know, I mean like stuff like that. While in Epstempco, grabe ang grace period. So I mean like we're so thankful with Epstempco.
Dako siya income ma'am kay ngano wala pa man siya nakuha tracking o tapas.
Mga 400. After 10 months.
10 months. Kay kami ko no akong bana, wala ko gumisildo ma'am, huwat kami sa bless ni Lord. Nya tapos ngano ko no nakainana may salakyan mami mong katon agian nato. Nya daso nakabalay po puro utang. Sa Epstempco. Palit na ko abono, bayad na ko sa arindo, mulon ko sa Epstempco o angan productive loan. Nya ang ibayad na ko sa kada bulan ang kita sa among truck, may tracking man mi kaluyan sa Ginoo dara mo po nagikan sa Epstempco. Dami ito kayo ang Epstempco basta kita ka lawayon, makatabang yun nimo kay dali ra kay kwarta basta maay kay record.
We're planning to build up another building para sa grade school kay daghang kayo ang mga parents nga nasayangan nga wala ni grade school. Tungod sa Epstempco Visayas, nakasurvive ni sa mga challenges like ang DepEd nag-required na mauni ang imuhang facilities, mauni imuhang building. And so, without the help of Epstempco Visayas, tingali usa sa mi sa mukwit kay tungod wa may financial assistance.
Wala tayo bala.
May bala.
Sa ammunition, sir. Okay.
Ang growth, no, development sa ko unang-una ang ginalantaw pa din ako sa mga members na labi ang kuan ang officers ba ang mga leaders nga gadala. Kaya ang challenge sa officers o mga leaders at the time nga i-establish nila ang good image, ang positive image para sa mga members nga takos gi silang saligan. So, once makuha mo ang pagsalig sa mga members, walay duda, ihatag nila ila full support and cooperation. Ug man nakita nako sa dagan ka sa co-op, makita nimo man bisan sa ilang mga pagbutang og mga investment diri sa co-op. Basta may kwarta na sila, dili sila magpanagana og butang. No, that means misalig sila sa co-op.
Ang plano yung tumiro ani 2 stories pero di umanon ground floor lang sa pero na hula man ako pasig ma-option ta sa post material sa mabot nga adlaw umanon nga din ako rin mata hinglones ko may reception ko and may grand section ko ibigay ko lang pag yun may additional na 1M extend ko na mga ang time kay among gitanaw ang production sa tuburo na pigaw-pigaw dito sa panahon init kayo na video pa lang sa una di pa extend na mo 6 years ako dyan natabang basta di lang po ka mukha siyang obligasyon inyag malang anak ka pwede naman mahangyo interest na sa bayaran niya
Longer mo.
gabayad mo ta kada buwan sa ato pang ato kung si Dio doon ako ulit ako yun lang yan po na ang paalang si Dio yun na nga tabangan na gani tabangin ko yung mga kagalingon ay mga obligasyon yun kaya mo nang gihulam, mo din ang bayaran. So pag bati na ko sa co-op kay nga kung ang asawa member man sa co-op. So nagkuan kun ingon siya nga para madungagan ang imong kapital, mulon ka sa co-op, magpa-member ka sa co-op. So dako kay mo gikatabang sa ako ang kuan. Sa ako ang business.
Hands-on yung gani.
Naadyo ko ma'am. Halos every other day na ako din dako jud kayo kay sugad na abot ang co-op pinakasayon kayo nga kuan kay maskin nakabayad lang kapila ka bulan buling ko diya kana kay problema pwede nimo malon ang sa co-op nya ang sa kuan po sa productive man ako alaban ang gilo nako diri sa punong kay kada bulan lang ko magbayad og kanang kuan interest so pag harvest nako pula nako ang co-op markasayon kayo sa negosyo. Kaya akong gina-encourage yun ang ako ang mga amigo, mga kailang magpamimber yun sila. Kay sugod lang na siya. Once nga magtinguha ka na, dyan ay ganti ang Ginoo.
Dako jud kayo salamat ako sa Epstempco ma'am kay diha man jud ko nag-start
Nag-start pa lang mi sa among uma. Pag uli sa akong bana gikan sa Taiwan, gamay ra gyud kayo ang amo ang napundar, pero sa pagtabang sa Epstempco, hindi ko yun ang alam na nakapatapos ko ang college. Bisan to sa pinigado na mong pangabuhi, at least nagpa-eskwela gyud kong bata. Salamat sa Epstempco.
Epstempco is visible in social services like feeding programs, medical missions, and Brigada Escuela. But it is in environmental programs that aim to mitigate the impact of climate change that Epstempco has made its presence felt, especially in coastal villages like Cervantes and Washington. Co-op members regularly participate in mangrove planting in collaboration with barangay officials. At the helm of Epstempco Visayas is Chairman Romulo Cisno, who is also the president of the Northern Negros State College of Science and Technology, NONESCOST.
Ang pag-prepare sa ato ang mga tao will continue the growth and development of our co after us. So kung wala na ang mga leaders karon, i-ensure lang nato nga naay mo padayon.
Okay.
Para magpadayon po pagtubo ang ato ko. Ikaduha siguro, i-ensure po nato nga ang ato mga empleyado, mga staff, competent staff na to, magpabilin diri sa co-op. We need to study from time to time, compare, no? Salaries, benefits, other privileges nga gihatag na to sa co-op, kumpara na to sa ginahatag sa co-op. Ikatulo siguro nga challenges na to, paano na to mapatubo ang ato ang mga members. Kaya ang pinaka-strong foundation yun sa ito apod nga padayon na pagtubo sa co-op, pagpaligon sa co-op, kini mga ito pong mga members. So, ang challenge na ito dira, paano na ito padayon na i-educate na ito ang mga members na musulod o mutuhop sa ilahang galamhan itong mga co-op principles, values na dapat nila uyan, no? As members, member owners sa co-op. Kaya bang pagtuo nga ini co-op ato ni dili ni iya, no, kundi ato ni tanan. So ang kalambuan o ang kapirdihan sa to ako naasa to matamot. So yung parang sense of ownership, sense of belongingness sa organization. Ang sunod na challenge siguro kay daghan ang mga technologies gabago. So we need to go with the changing technologies. So kinanglan i-prepare po na ito ang kooperatiba, ang atong mga systems, procedures, yung santo kung ano sa mga technologies karon pwede magamit na makatabang para sa to ang mga members. Halimbawa, ang simplification sa mga processes and procedures, no? Na masatisfy na to ang atong mga members. May mga people's organizations, no? LGU, involved na to. O ang academy is also our partner. Gikanda kami mga feasibility study, for example, kung feasible ba ang pag-put up satellite office or branch in another area. So ang gahimo ana nga to co-op management nga mga estudyante. Sila na ang gatabangan na. May mga researches halimbawa karon ongoing anang impact sa existence sa co-op sa community. May study po na karon nga ongoing siya ginahimo
kay ang
Inonescos.
Danoniscos, no? So sa iyang impact sa kinabuhi sa mga members o sa community, sa iyang existence for how many years.
What about the impact of climate change, sir, sa operations sa
That's part sa research nga ginahimo na to. So impact sa lives ug impact sa environment sa ginahimo. Although nakapa-improve sa panginabuhi pero wala siya nakapa-improve, naka-deteriorate sa katabang deterioration sa ato environment. So muna siya ang ato gina-understudy karon.
Tanan nga mga challenges ilang na surpass, but then may ara pag isang damo nga mga challenges to come, and I am very hopeful na they could sustain their efforts, they could sustain their strong na paniniwala na anumang unos na dumating sa buhay nila, be it personally, internally, or externally, they could bet that. My advice for them to have more years in their operation, in their existence, dapat yun, in-nurture nila ang ilang camaraderie and ang ilang teamwork. Kaya nga naman, kung magkabulag-bulag sila, magka-different ang ilang opinion, dapat i-harmonize na siya tungo sa ilahang mga ginadampo.
Para sa ato ang mga officers, management and staff, salamat sa inyong padayon nga pagsuporta, sa inyong dedication, sa inyong commitment para padayon ng mulambo tubo ang ato kooperatiba. Sa ato mga members, daghan po salamat sa padayon po ninyong involvement, participation sa tanan ng mga activities sa ato ang kooperatiba. Salamat.
As Epstempco Visayas looks ahead to mark its 30th year, the overarching challenge is to continue to make a difference in the lives of its members and diffuse the benefits to the larger community. There will be new challenges, but as the journey of 27 years has shown, co-op values enable and empower man to achieve his self-worth and human dignity. Truly, the co-op is charged with a lofty mission that goes beyond lending, to love and serve the least, the lost, and the last.